best to talk against the wind here, guys, but if you can't hear me, then just listen up. So, anyway, yeah, listen harder. My friend James was the king and I was the prime minister of the Grand Republic of Holstein, and he moved on to other projects after a bit, but I remained with it, stuck with the idea, and when obtained property here within northern Nevada in 1998, declared this to be the home to our nation, renamed it to the Republic of Molossia, raised the flag, you see flapping in the violent wind all around you here, and we've been going strong as a nation ever since. Now, when you come into a country, what's the first thing you need to do? Well, we've got to stop at customs and stamp some passports. So, who brought their passports? And why did the rest of you bring your passport? Why did the rest of you bring your passport? You came to a foreign country. I see how it is. Don't try and leave the U.S. Well, you already did. All right, so we're going to stamp passports real quick, and then we'll talk about a few customs things. So, my passport book, come on over here.
Yep, we'll be there at the end. Yeah, we'll pause by one to the names up there at the end too. Yeah. And then we're taking
All of our civil servants in Molossia are actually mannequins because they don't go on strike and don't take long breaks or actually any breaks at all. Fred has a few things that he'd like you to know, so make sure you don't bring these into our nation. No tobacco products. If you feel like smoking, please go back to the United States. Incandescent light bulbs and plastic shopping bags. Not sure why you'd bring a light bulb with you, but it's happened. So anyway, but they're bad for the environment, so they're banned here in Molossia. Catfish are banned. We were going to be in a magazine called FHM, which is kind of a guy magazine like Maxim, and they bumped the article about Molossia in favor of an article about guys that catch catfish with their hands. That's actually a thing. It's called noodling, and I don't know. Yes, I don't know why you would ever do that, but at any rate, so we banned catfish, which is really easy to ban something that you don't really have in the nation, because we don't have a lot of standing water, let alone catfish. Walrus is also banned because it's something that amuses us, and onions and spinach are banned because I don't like them and I'm the president, and that's how the laws get passed. All right, so the weather here in Molossia is always about 70 degrees. It's not windy. It only rains at night when it's not inconvenient. However, we're so close to the United States that they're cracking all the time. So that's what's happening right now. This is not Molossian wind. That's American wind that's blowing you around. We're trying to keep it out, but so anyway, a couple other things. Actually, if you're thinking these are all weird rules, they are in fact all weird rules. You're right. All of them were actually adopted from weird rules in the U.S. So, for example, it is illegal to set off a nuclear device in the town of Salinas, California, or you'll get a big fine. Now, I'm not sure who's going to be left after you let off an atom bomb to levy that fine. Maybe the next town over. I don't know. Or they even going to care. And if you do go to the bathroom, please don't take your drums. That's the bathroom, no drums. Remember that. Okay? Check your pockets. Make sure you don't have any catfish, walruses. No, we're good. But let's start with this. You are on Molossian Standard Time here in the Republic of Molossia. That's appropriate because the names kind of match up. The Molossian Standard Time is 39 minutes ahead of Pacific Time, or 21 minutes behind Mountain Time, depending, I guess, on which direction you're facing. We did that to be a little bit different, have our own time zone. We also have our own measurement system. We'll talk about that in a minute. After we adopted our own time zone here in Molossia, right after that, the late President Chavez of Venezuela also adopted his own time zone. Now you know where he got the idea. Of course you got it. We're in here, guys. I know you're out there. I can hear you breathing.
We know where.
Right. And also, North Korea actually have their own time zone too. I understand. It's like 1862 or something like that. Anyway, all right. So I have a couple other things. You've seen where we at? The Molossian flag flying all over the place. Again, in the violent breeze. The lovely First Lady right over there in the pink sweatshirt, and lovely me right here. Our national animal is the wild horse, which sometimes you can see on the hills. Everybody turn around and look. There is a province down in Southern California called Desert Homestead, 5 acres down there. And another colony, not a province, up in Northern California, 5 acres. But this is where all the action is, unless of course we're there, then that's where all the action is. Our national sport, broomball. Who saw in the news, the Molossia news recently, that we just played our annual broomball tournament? You guys can see that? Oh, we got one.
On the website.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I know you were in it.
I also saw it on the news.
Is it ringing?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. No problem. This thing's gonna work. All right. Okay. Now
This is Shanty over.
You didn't figure it out, I did.
yeah, you did.
You
Yes.
messed up.
Yes, I messed up. Okay, I didn't push the M button down. Jeez, my own phones too. Who knew? All right, so besides those two phones, which we call the tourist phones, the phone system also connects to Government House, to my office, and to the Tiki Hut Bar and Grill. It's a functioning phone system, and that's a key point right there. We are all about functionality here in the Republic of Molossia. It may be a very tiny little speck on the map, but we want things to actually work here in our country. We actually have a thing called the Functionality Project. So things like the phone system do work. We also have a solar power system, which I put away because it, the wind's blowing it away, and so forth like that. But the point being that, well, we like to laugh and have a good time here in Molossia. We do consider ourselves to be a real, actual nation. A very, very small one, but this is actually our own country. And borders right there and things that really work. So that's what we got going on there. You guys enjoyed that, I hope. So let's walk this way just a little bit. This is Molossia's Friendship Gateway. Here in Molossia, we are dedicated to friendship, to understanding between all peoples. Kind of a hands across the border kind of thing. It works really well for us considering our border's right over there. So we built this gateway to symbolize that friendship. It was actually built by subscription. Other folks from other countries, other micronations as well as the United States, helped us build this nation. And as we built it, we almost killed the First Lady in the process. She survived, but she got a little tick, but it's okay. She's all right. Don't worry about it. So, Molossia's Friendship Gateway, and then right over here on the wall, I'll back just a little bit, you're going to see beneath that rusty sign, we've got our elevation. That's your first Norton of the day. 7,714 Nortons besides the Emperor. This is a Norton right here. We have our own measurement system here in the Republic of Molossia, and the basic unit of that measurement system is about the length of my right hand. Now, I know what's going to happen when they want to measure things after I'm dead. They probably have to keep my hand in a jar or something like that.
That's all right.
Yeah, that's a little hasty. Slow down. Right. And of course, it is a full measurement system. It has all the other things too, like temperature and volume and so forth like that. But the fun part are the Nortons. And the population right there, population of 35. It's actually off by one because we recently lost our one feline citizen. But we are gaining a new person. Molossia is a family nation. So all citizens of the Republic of Molossia are members of our family, or our dogs, and briefly a cat. And we've got a new citizen on the way in August, yes? Yeah, I think in August. So that'll bring our population back up to 35. So please don't ask for citizenship, because sorry. I mean, they can, because they're part of the family, but anyway. All right. Okay, so I'm going to back up here just a little bit. Somebody coming?
Got extra, okay.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. Is he part of the tour? I don't know. All right, so you guys can walk a little bit closer if you like. We talked a little bit about other micronations, and these are other micronations, some of them don't call themselves that, other micronations that you can actually visit, especially if you're extremely dedicated and have a lot of time and money. So West Arctica, our very good friends, they actually claim a portion of the Antarctic. You're going to want to bundle up for that trip. So it's all the way, if you don't know that, at the bottom of the planet. Anyway, but they are actually based out of Los Angeles. But I think this distance, which is in what we call Imperial Nortons, is definitely not Los Angeles. I can't ever pronounce it right because it's in French, but it's Agamor, which is in southern France. They're a really cool country. They have their currency is actually used in the French town of Agamor, outside of their micronational limits. So you can actually use their micronational currency outside of their micronation, which is really cool. And we'll talk a little bit more about our money too when we get over to yonder bank. The Conch Republic is located down there, you know where Key West, Florida is. down to that long line of islands at the bottom of Florida. Well, the Conch Republic is another name for Key West, Florida. Back in the 80s, they declared themselves to be an independent country because the one road that gets to their city was blocked off by the U.S. government for, I think it was drug interdiction, something like that. And of course, you block off the one road to get to a town. That means you can't get to the town. So they declared themselves to be independent and then declared war on the U.S., then surrendered. There was something about throwing stale Cuban bread. I'm not sure what that's all about. And now when you fly down there, if you go to Conch Republic, actually says it on their airport and so forth. You can buy passports and so forth like that. Now, Sealand is probably one of the most famous micronations. Who here has heard of Sealand? Micronation Sealand. There we go. Absolutely. Good, good. Oh, yeah, we got a scholar over here. Good deal. All right. Sealand is actually located on a World War II anti-aircraft tower off the coast of Britain. I think it's outside of their original 5-mile limit before they extended that. Well, welcome. All right, so we are currently at war with the nation of East Germany. Who here has not even heard of East Germany? You. All right. All right. All right. Well, to give you a little bit of backstory in case you don't know, there was a time up until about 1991 when the nation that is now Germany was divided into two, East Germany and West Germany. And there was a line there that was basically called the Iron Curtain. East Germany was all communist, West Germany was not. All right, so I was stationed in West Germany during the 1980s, and as with the United States Army, and as things sort of went with the Army and armies in general, it tended to wake me up in the middle of the night and get me out the door into our tanks, into the nearest staging area, so we could repel the communist hordes if they ever came across that border from Russia, East Germany, and so forth like that. Now, at the time, I was still Prime Minister of what was Molossia, when it was then called the Grand Republic of Volstein, and having been woken up one too many times, declared war on the nearest East Bloc nation, which happened to be, at that time, East Germany. Seemed like a great idea. Nothing really came of it. Forgot all about it. Even forgot about the war declaration until it was discovered in the Ministry of the Closet in a box. Well, that's pretty cool. War declaration. That's a long forgotten thing because by then, when I discovered it about 10 years ago, East Germany was long gone. It had been unified. So that's neat. Curiosity. Until I found out that, in fact, the nation of East Germany still exists in the form of a tiny little island off the coast of Cuba, which was given to East Germany by Cuba in the 1970s. So it is hang on to that flag. That's very patriotic of you. So that is still East German territory. So while the rest of the nation is gone, that island remains as East German territory, which means we are still at war with the nation of East Germany, and probably will be forever because that island is off the coast of Cuba, is uninhabited. And you can see this is various examples of our money. We have both the poker chip kind and also the paper money kind. If you'd like to buy our currency, exchange our currency, we can certainly do that. But to give you a little bit of background, our money, which is called the Valora, is not based on something useless and worthless like gold or silver, but is in fact, something's happening. In fact, based on something very valuable to us, chocolate chip cookie dough. That's right. We are on the cookie dough standard here in Molossia. So if you look through the window there, and you look to the left of Herman, our banker, who's not as scary as he looks. Well, he's all right anyway. I got kind of a lazy eye. Anyway, you can see our cookie dough repository there on the right, and we have quite a bit more in Government House. This day is coming up here soon. What is today?
The 24th.
24th. So 6 days is our Heroes Day, which is also dedicated to the heroes of Molossia, among whom are, well, me and the First Lady, and eventually the Chief Constable right over there, another Emperor Norton on there, and if you've seen a little bit of similarity, Walt Disney is definitely a hero of Molossia. We also, besides celebrating Heroes Day at this Heroes Monument, because every country needs to have one, we also use it for other things. For example, we did a little remembrance for the 100th anniversary of the beginning and the end of World War I here. So yes, we got up in the middle of the night to do the end of World War I thing, so we did it on European time. So that was pretty cool. So Molossia's Heroes Monument, and we're gonna. I got a thing for you. It's like, wow, I'm on the spot. All right, so we occasionally have folks that come visit Molossia and they want to participate in our space program. Again, we can't launch the rockets of that sort, but we can launch this rocket right here. This is an air rocket. So you stomp on this air rocket, you launch it, I'll give you a certificate making you an honorary Molossian space cadet. That's right. All your friends know you are. You're now going to be official.
Pretty cool, Hollis.
All right. Fantastic. Give it a good stomp. Give it. Go. Good job. All right. That's good. So, 10 years ago, we had these folks visit Molossia, and basically they took over the country, threw me out as the president, and then amongst themselves infought a bit. Is that a word? Infought a bit, and then eventually, of course, obviously became president again. That's the front story. The back story is these guys showed up. A bunch of computer, video game, and movie reviewers showed up and to do a movie, and they're like a group. They were. I don't think they're doing it anymore. They're like a group, and they met annually in one place to do a movie every year for several years, and we were their second annual meetup. And so they filmed this movie Kick-Ass where they came in, they threw me out, and you can see it. I think I have a link.
So there's a movie? Oh,
Yeah, it's definitely a movie. Yes.
The
You didn't know
5
that?
parts, every 20 minutes, like 20 minutes, 5 parts. Has some language, so.
Okay.
Yeah, some language and a little bit of religious irreverence, if you. But at any rate, it's really funny. It's really funny, and it was a lot of fun. It really is. It was a lot of fun. It took 3 solid days, 12-hour days of filming that. In March. So it was really chilly outside for these guys. Especially this one guy didn't wear a shirt the entire time. But anyway, but yeah, the movie's great, a lot of fun, and that gained us a certain amount of publicity too. But also, there was the sense from people that knew of Kick-Assia that Molossia was created for Kick-Assia, when it was, of course, the other way around. Kick-Assia was sort of a place that they wanted to do their thing. And anyway, so if you do watch that movie, any scene that you see where it's just the main characters talking in the main room of Government House, that room is actually full of people. They're all hiding behind the couch on their computers and their laptops and doing stuff. So, yeah, so it's really, really cool. It's neat. Movie making is kind of fun, but it's really long. You ever make a movie? Plan for a really long time. So tell me what. So anyway, what else we got, guys?
What are some of your medals?
Oh, absolutely. Well, being a dictator, I have to have a lot of medals. So even if I didn't do something cool, and I would still have to have a lot of medals. So the first portion are for doing cool things for the country. Have I done cool things for the country?
Yes.
They seem to think so. Shut up.
Oh, yes.
Anyway, throw yourself in jail. And the rest are actually from other micronations that were given. They were given to me over the years. One of the things when we have our micronational meetup at Microcon that I mentioned up there, one of the things we do is we exchange medals back and forth. It's just kind of a micronation thing. Yeah, you're awesome, you're awesome, you're awesome, that kind of thing. And so there's quite a few medals from that. I actually have almost an entire other rack of medals.
Wow.
As do we. We have money.
And you have to carry a jacket around with me, something like that.
So on that, what'd you call it, macronation?
The Microcon?
Yeah. Is that only for people like yourself, or do people who go to the micronations, like, do they go to the convention too?
Anybody can come. Yep. I mean, it's mostly common that people that are there are other micronationalists and so forth like that. But I mean, the next Microcon, for those of you that are around, is going to take place next summer, not this summer, in Las Vegas.